Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
You know, we've been doing this list for 3 years, the 49ers roster countdown series. And every single year, you know, we wait until the draft is concluded, free agency is concluded, there's 91 players signed or 90, whatever it is that year with the International Player Pathway Program. And then we rank them. And every year, there's one or two that we're way off on. And coming in number 11, Jon Feliciano, who I had written in pen in ink as the starting right guard. Well, that's just not the way camp went. Knee tendonitis turned into knee surgery. Missed a lot of time. And in fact, he went from playing, right guard most of the season last year, including playoffs and Super Bowl and all that stuff, to swapping out center snaps with Jake Brendel, who also was going through knee tendonitis. Then you had, Dominique Pooney just step in and take over and just, this is mine now. Right guard is mine now, which is awesome. And so is Jon Feliciano the 11th most impactful player for the 49ers this coming year? No. And with the knee surgery, even less so, which was just announced a couple days ago. He's going to be missing probably the first half of the season. Now, I will say this. His versatility and veteran experience still going to be a prominent member with this season, whether that's at left guard, center, right guard. He is the utility backup player that just provides such a safe floor. Now, if we look at the postseason run the 49ers had last year, I think two injuries played the most importance in the Super Bowl. Number one was Dre Greenlaw when he tore his Achilles. Number two, Jon Feliciano. The play that's burned into all of our brains in the Super Bowl where Chris Jones just runs scot-free, well, that was Jon Feliciano's replacement, Spencer Burford. Feliciano was in there dominating. And, I kept saying last year, it's Trent Williams, giant gap, Jon Feliciano, giant gap, the rest of the 49ers offensive linemen. The problem was he didn't get healthy this offseason. And so we have him 11. We were hoping he was going to get healthy. He didn't. Last year was 26th on our list. That's probably where he should be, around that 20s list. And even if he's not a starter, when the playoffs come, Feliciano's going to be out there getting snaps. Shout out to my man Josh, executive producer of today's show. So, we don't know the timetable for Feliciano, but it does appear the 49ers every team now gets 2 IR candidates to return, and you get to predetermine them. In the past, you would have to put Jon Feliciano on your 53-man roster, cut somebody else, then the next day move him to IR and bring back somebody else that didn't get claimed by somebody else, another team, right? You don't have to do that anymore. You get 2 predetermined IR designation spots, so essentially you get to keep 55 players. Jon Feliciano is going to be one of those 2. Probably Kalia Davis, the other one. We'll see how it goes. We still got a preseason game taking place later. So, where's jersey number 55? 6'4", 325. The biggest lineman we have, not named, Trent Williams. He's a big dude. 32-inch arms, interior guy, only 32 years old. He's long in the tooth. But really, really good player. Nasty, mean, 23 bench press reps going into his 10th season. Just awesome. Went to Miami. He got his bachelor's in human resource management. All right. Really big football, video game guy. Plays a lot of video games. That was kind of his passion growing up. And he's got a very unique view on what it is to be American. Raised in an Italian kind of East Meadow, New York kind of borough. But grandparents are Italian and Puerto Rican. How cool is that? Like that's just really, really cool. Then the negative side of this, his mother had a extensive battle with cancer growing up. The financial challenges with health bills and all that stuff. Feliciano, dealt with periods of homelessness and hunger growing up as a kid. That could not have been easy. Amazing story. It just very unique story, which is a beautiful thing, and it turned him into an awesome dude. He's a big teddy bear off the field. Seems super kind, super nice, very just kind of mild-tempered dude. You watch him on the field, he's mean. This is a nasty, nasty football player that is just sets a tone. And in physical run games has kind of been what he's been a part of most of his career. And it didn't really seem like he was going to be a great 49ers fit. But this transition to guys like Aaron Banks, guys like Jon Feliciano, guys like Dominic Pooney, this is the new hybrid of 49ers offensive line play in this Shanahan zone scheme. It came to us from the Giants in 2022 where he started 15 games as the center. He can play all the guard spots and the center spot. It can do it all. And, you look at, for us last year, he had games at left guard, center, and right guard. He does it all. Just fills in whenever there's an issue, and he's got it locked down. Great run blocker. That's probably the best thing that he brings. Last year's PFF grade was an 87.0 run blocking grade, 66.5 pass blocking grade. So not the best pass blocker, but he's big, nasty, mean, sets the tone, really, really good run blocker. And you look at just what he's accomplished. He's got 4,000 career snaps. Like, he has played a ridiculous amount of football. 61 starts in his career, but he's also been a utility guy. 113 games played in. He's been around for a minute now. He was drafted in the 4th round, number 128th overall, in 2015 by the Oakland Raiders. They were Oakland back then. Interesting enough, he was involved in a draft day trade with another future 49er, Quan Alexander. They were picked 4 picks apart. The Bucs and the Raiders swapped picks, and the Niners had kind of sandwiched both those picks. Mike Davis, running back Mike Davis, y'all remember him, South Carolina. He went 2 picks before Feliciano in that 2015 draft, and wide receiver DeAndre Smelter went 4 picks after. Take that for what you want. But this is the same draft as Eric Armstead, Jaquiski Tart. Like, he's been around the block. He's an older player. Was with Oakland for his rookie contract 4 years. Then he went to Buffalo for 3 years. Then he was with the Giants for 1 year. This is his 2nd year with the 49ers. He signed 1-year deal, $2.75 million, and $2.1 million was fully guaranteed. Now he's got the injury. So that hurts, but at least he's getting that guaranteed money. I always want people to get paid. If for somebody that's 32 years old playing an NFL offensive line, pay that man his money. $2.1 million. If you get him back for the second half of the season in the playoff run, that's a value deal. It really, really is. His career earnings, Jon Feliciano, $17 million, almost even, which I love. Congratulations to you. So he kind of gets to just sit back and be healthy. And the 49ers get a wait-and-see approach to whenever you do bring Feliciano back. You don't have to rush it. At least, hopefully, you don't get too many more injuries on that offensive line. But I think he's just going to be kind of that, look, this is the backstop for all 3 interior line positions. Is that center? Is it left guard? Is it right guard? I think right guard probably has the most depth. I know that's what he's played mostly for us. But with Dominic Pooney and Spencer Burford at right guard, I think they're trying to find a backup center left guard, whether that's Nick Zakelj, Ben Barch, Jon Feliciano later in the year. That's what they're looking for. 2 guys at right guard, and then get you a left guard / center backup versatile guy. Jon Feliciano will be that role. How soon? Who knows? The earliest he can come back, he has to miss 4 games if he's on that IR, and he's not officially on the IR yet. So that's conjecture on my part. I think he will go on the pre-53-man IR and then brought back later. And, just one of those players that's going to matter down the stretch. And so he kind of gets a little bit of time off to get healthy, which is great news. Hopefully he comes back kind of in that 2023 postseason form because he was awesome. And that injury doesn't take place. A whole different game in the Super Bowl. But and play the what-if game all you want. But I'm excited to have Jon Feliciano. Probably not the number 11 player, most impactful, which is what this whole series is. But he's going to be impactful. The injury and all that stuff afterwards, that came after we voted. But for us, we'll just keep counting them down. It's time for the top 10, baby.